Yo, what up, man? It's Nitrane. You listening to the Ambiance podcast, man. We here. Tune in. I just love the city vibes.
Yeah.
Like just being, I don't know, around just people moving. The valley's just quiet. Nobody's really out there.
Yeah, it's like a hustle and bustle type of feel. It kind of makes you kind of like pick up your pace in your own life, right?
Exactly. It makes you want to get up in the morning and do some shit. But
bro, I just like walking around sometimes. Like I get hyped to go to the store. I'm like, oh, let me
get out and get some fucking sun. You know, with me, I'm just ain't shit out there. It's just old people
in the valley.
Yeah, so. You walk out and there's like no motivation to do anything because it's just so chill.
Yeah, it's slow pace and everything. Yeah. I like that type of lifestyle for when I settle down, like when I got kids and stuff. Like I'm gonna want that, but I don't know how old you are, but
28.
Okay, so I'm 26. So like at this point in my life, I want
just work, bro. Don't even think about family.
Thank you, bro.
Just work. just work.
I appreciate that.
That's one thing I can't tell you is just don't even think about like settling down yet, like up until where you can look around and be like, all right, I'm good, like everything around me is good, then that's when you start thinking about shit like that. But
100%, bro. And I've seen like a lot of homies, and the thing is like everybody has different values. Like some people want that and that's cool, like that's fine, but I've had a lot of homies that had good things going and they just fell off because they settled down too fast, right?
I mean that's something I thought about early on, because I would see that too. I would see the same thing. Wow, look, we started the podcast.
Bro, we're gonna roll into it. We're just gonna we're gonna pick up that whole little conversation side.
So fire.
What up, people? Welcome to Ambiance Podcast. I got DJ Nitrane.
What up, y'all?
Sitting to the right of me. Man, thank you for coming through. It's a pleasure to have you.
I mean, I've told you this before off camera. Look at this spot, bro.
Fire.
Come on now.
Yo, quick claps because this is the first episode in our new studio. We're going to call this Ambiance Studios.
Wow.
Because we got the ambiance right.
Yes,
it's important, man. I'm really proud of this setup. If you've been watching the podcast and listening for the podcast for a while, this is a pretty big deal. We're going to be in these chairs in these studios for a cool minute, so I appreciate all the supporters, man. You guys are why I do this. And
comfy ass chairs too,
bro. The velvet, yeah. I was planning, man. It's a beautiful thing when your vision comes to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening right now for me.
Hey, man, more power to you, bro. Like, you're doing it the right way,
I appreciate that.
You're working and you're reaching out to the right people and taking the steps forward to actually, you're making an effort and it's showing. So you should be proud of yourself for this new place you're in. And like I said, I can't really see the rest of it, but this shit is incredible.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Easy.
For you guys who don't know, Nitrane is a DJ. That's why his name is DJ Nitrane. Man, I feel like I kind of know you in a sense just because of your mixes and your track list, you know what I mean, the tracks you play, because I feel like you can kind of know a person based off of their music taste. Do you agree?
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like if somebody has a similar music taste to you, or just for you, for example, like obviously you own that hip hop space, but you have a real progressive neo soulful type of sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that kind of tells me that you kind of have an open mind.
For sure.
It tells me a lot about the type of person you are too, right?
Yeah. I'm super open-minded about everything. When it comes to music, I mean everything really, but when it comes to music, I enjoy playing a lot of the things that a lot of people don't listen to on a regular basis, and I get that's my happiness as far as like finding the rare remixes, the rare gems. Like it's pretty much it's like a badge of honor when you have a remix that nobody has, what I mean? And like playing it and people are like, oh, what is this? Like that's why we
That
do
is
it.
the best feeling when you put somebody on to some new music. It's a love language.
Yeah, exactly. It's a love language.
Where do you go digging at?
Oh man, SoundCloud before they shut down my page a couple days ago. I hate y'all, SoundCloud. Get it together.
Why'd you do that? Copyright?
I think it was copyright. I'm gonna say it was copyright, but I don't know. Like, I literally woke up and got an email saying that they were just gonna shut my shit down, and I was like, let me figure this out. And I started hitting people up, like new people at SoundCloud, and then I mean, it's the holidays. Like, they did it around Thanksgiving time. So it's like everybody's out of the office or everybody's not working at home.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, whatever. Like, now I'm just going to create my own platform to showcase my mixes and my edits and my remixes.
So what is that platform that you're creating?
I mean, everything's so fresh. So, like, we're like in the beginning stages of creating a app or like a website.
Oh, wow.
For just my content, pretty much.
Okay.
But everything for now is like, for now you can find my mixes on Mixcloud that I've had there for a while. And then there's this other app, USound, that's super new. It's USound, YOUSound app. And shout out to Buys, by the way. I think he's like something over there, but he's a real good dude. That's where I'm gonna house a lot of my original content and original songs and edits. Like, they'll be on USound. It's pretty much like a direct to consumer approach. Like, there's no boundary. Kind of like how Instagram, you can reach your favorite artist at any time.
Yeah.
But with USound, you have everything in one. You have merch. You have your music. You have the ability to live stream. So it's everything in one place. On
Wow.
One app. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds dope. Quick plug for USound, man. We're going to need that check.
Shout to you. Yeah, facts. Send me a check. Well, it's super early. No one's really on it. Like,
Really?
I'm really, me and I want to say Sour Milk. Sour Milk's the one that put me on. I think we're like the early like crew that's testing out the app. And
pioneers, kind of.
Pioneers of it. Trying to like figure out the kinks, what we like, what we don't like, and then, we'll create it and go from there.
Yeah, that's dope. Well, you guys are some like pretty, especially in Los Angeles scene, like pretty big DJs. So I think that if you guys are on top of it, like other DJs will follow. You know what I mean?
Hopefully, yeah. That's the goal. To just have some type of say-so and influence in the new technology that DJs use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, man, we got a lot to touch on. How did you even get into DJing? How did you start your musical journey?
Wow, getting into DJing, my musical journey started off super early, I want to say. Early on, from like watching, 106 in Park as a kid and all of that, like, music was always in my life. Shout out to my neighbor too, and my cousin George. He lived next to me, and he's older, so he would put me on like Jay-Z and just all the new hip hop, right? And
at what age was this? Like,
man, this is as early as like 7, 8 years old. So my main goal as a kid was to be a soccer player. Like, I played soccer all my life, and then somewhere along that, around like middle school, I started like liking DJing, and one of my dad's friends was a DJ, so he would do all the family parties, and I would just sit next to him and just watch him. And then one time I was like 12 years old, and he went to the bathroom, and he was like, yo, push this button when the song ends. And I was like, all right, cool. I pushed the button, and like, it immediately got everybody up dancing at the family party. And I was just like, wait a minute, like, what did I just do?
So much power.
Yeah, so much power. And at that moment, I remember I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And he kind of like would bring me to all his other parties, and I would like carry his CDs, of course, and slowly but surely he would just let me DJ, to the point where now, like, he was taking parties and he would just have me do them, like, and I'm like 13, 14 at the time.
Yeah, did you have any type of like knowledge or training on like how to transition? Or?
No, not at all. Like, it was literally those it was like a big rack of like gear with like the CD player on top.
Oh shit, okay. That's real grassroots.
Yeah, what? And then I would just load the CD, look for the song, and I would fade out with the volumes and like bring this volume down and then bring the other one up. Like,
kind of like the fader, but
fader, yeah.
Okay.
But it was just volume faders, and that's kind of how I really got going. And I discovered virtual DJ around that time too, and my parents had bought me like a laptop that we just had actually no, we had a desktop at the house back when like the MySpace era.
Landline.
Yeah, landline, AOL CD for the internet. Like,
the 3-step runner, like yeah.
So that's how I discovered virtual DJ. And I downloaded it like a cracked version. I don't even know. I got it off of LimeWire.
Okay.
And I downloaded it, and I would just practice, on the desktop. And then I would also practice, like, I had Windows Media Player and iTunes on this computer. So I would, like, put an acapella on Media Player, and I would put an instrumental on Apple Music, and I would, like, on iTunes, and I would, like, time it out and like try to make a mashup with two different programs at the same time.
Damn, that's a lot of work.
A lot of work. So that's kind of like how just me trying different stuff out and just exploring the music DJ and mixing world. And fast forward, like I started getting to know virtual DJ and mixing on virtual DJ, and I started doing house parties with virtual DJ with like a laptop and like an aux cord, and I would just show up to like all these abandoned house parties that people would throw in high school.
And this was in the Valley, right? Because you're from San Fernando Valley.
Yeah, I was born in Northridge.
Okay,
yeah. So and then that's really how all of that like has transpired.
Yeah. So when did things like really start picking up for you as a DJ?
I want to say maybe like 2010, 2011. Right when I was coming out of high school, I would do like fucking. In 2009, I did my first club gig. I was still in high school. I like MySpace this dude named Marvin, and he like was a promoter at this club called Arena in Hollywood. Yeah. And I would sell tickets. The first gig I had to like sell like 15, 20 tickets.
In order to DJ, right?
In order for me to DJ. I didn't get paid, but like my way of getting paid was off like the tickets I sold. I would get like $2-3, but I didn't have 15 people to fucking sell these tickets to.
Yeah.
So what I did was I ended up buying them.
Oh,
myself.
So you were taking a L on
Yeah. The amount of L's I've taken just to like do certain shit is, I can sit here all day and tell you about those, but that's how that was like my first L that I took to like get this set, and my set was at 9:30 to 10.
Oh, which was like the opening.
Well, the club opened at 10.
Oh.
So that should tell you. But I DJ'd and that day, and then this guy named Vico, who was another promoter, was like, "Yo, come back next week. I'll give you another set to sell these tickets." And that's kind of how it started going. And then Vico kind of took me under his wing in that club. And he would, give me sets here, give me sets there. And then that from Arena, it evolved to like doing Empire in Hollywood, this club Joseph's in Hollywood. This is like 2010, 2011-ish now. And from like 2008 to like 2011, I was doing that with Vico. So shout out to Vico for real.
Shouts out to Vico, man.
Yeah.
So do clubs still do that? Like, were they to up and coming DJs where they make them sell tickets like that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I definitely haven't asked.
That's low-key fucked up.
But that's the game, though, man. Like you got it was fucked up back then, but like that's the game, and you had to finesse your way out of it somehow, some way.
Yeah, I think that same kind of method, because I have a lot of homies that DJ too, is kind of transitioned towards like social media now. It's just like if you're up and coming, you kind of just gotta constantly promote when you're gonna DJ, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're up and coming now, like I still see some promoters be like, "Yo, I'm hiring DJs."
Hiring DJs.
Yeah, but like to an up and coming DJ, that looks like, oh shit, like they're hiring. Like let me join. Like let me reach out. But like I know for a fact they're gonna hit you with how many people can you bring?
Yeah.
And, And that, I don't think that's ever gonna go away. So,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like their bottom line. How many people are gonna come in?
Right, but you know, honestly, at the end of the day, the music speaks, like your craft speaks, and you know, your networking ability speaks for itself. So if you have all of that, it's very easy to get out of that situation.
Right. I want to go back to something you said earlier, where you have to take an L sometimes. To get to where you want to be, or to make a move that you want to make. So talk about the importance of that, because I think a lot of people need to hear why it's important to not just think that you can go straight to the top and get what you want. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I mean, there's no success without an L, first and foremost. Like, there's never you're never going to get any type of success without taking an L. You have to take an L. 1 or 2 or 3 or as many L's as possible. But, you know, you got to learn from all of them shits. Because if you're taking the same L over and over again, then that's your fault.
That's a good point to make.
You know? Then that's your fault. But, yeah, man, there's many times where, like, even I remember when I first started doing... I remember this gig in San Francisco, like my first time being booked in the Bay Area. They had booked me. Shout out to my guy Danny Oliver too. He like mediated that for me, but I had to drive out there. I had to book my own room. I had to like, and all for like I think the pay was like $150. Right.
Yeah.
But if you take into account everything I spent just to get to the Bay, like $150 ain't shit.
Yeah.
So, but I knew that it was like a moment. Like if I portrayed it a certain way, like, okay, Nitrane's, you know, first gig in the Bay, like on social media or whatever, like that, the look of it was going to be bigger than the 150 and everything I had to. So I would take an L financially, but like what I would get out of it was content and, you know, a moment.
Okay. Yeah, so your value was what it could add kind of to your resume, quote unquote.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, that's important, because I think every situation is different.
For sure. Like, early on, I was definitely like just looking for shit to add to the resume.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what it was, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add it to the resume. I'm gonna put it on the press kit. And that's how it was. No matter what. Like, early on, keeping it a buck. Like, I'm to do these clubs, I'm getting $50. Like, legit $50. You know, like doing Empire, doing fucking Joseph's, and I forgot all these other clubs, but like $50 was love. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, love. Like, you know, and then it started progressing to like $80. And if they were giving you 80, if they were giving you 100, like, oh, like you were headlining, or like, you know, they were taking care of you type shit.
What time of like your life was this?
This is like the same around that time, like 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. But then, that's the type of shit I was doing. But doing those parties, it led me to meeting different people.
Okay.
Because if I would have never done those, there's no way I would be sitting in this chair right now.
That's crazy to think about.
Like, if it trickles down to me sending out that message on MySpace to that promoter.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I met Marvin, then I met Vico. Then I met a guy named Don, who I still work with to this day. Like, that's my brother. And, you know, meeting Don, he had this whole, like, party crew called Brotherhood, and they still run it. But, you know, he was throwing parties. And then I met, from throwing parties, from doing his parties, I met a guy named Mike Jones. So Mike Jones.
Mike Jones?
Nah, not that Mike Jones. Mike Jones. He's a DJ now, DJ Young Jones. That's my dog forever. Okay. So doing those parties led to me, you know, meeting Mike, and then Mike is the guy that called me to go do my first celebrity party ever.
Wow.
So
it's like a big ass tree.
It's a big ass tree. That's what I'm trying to say. Like everything trickles down. Everything like doing those parties that are like, $50. But I'm meeting certain people that are gonna add value later on.
Yeah, and sometimes that person that you meet that adds value later in your life, you may not know it at that time. Right?
It's gonna come around later. You never know. That's why I go into every situation like, I treat everybody with respect, and because you never know who they are or when you're gonna need them.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Do you believe in destiny?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like for all those pieces to fall into place, it's got to be like somebody watching over you, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, I'm meant to be here. Like I know that now. Like every situation I've ever been in, like it just shows me that I'm meant to be in that position. So what's meant for you is always going to be for you.
I feel that, man. That's inspiring, man, because what you're doing right now at your age of 28 is like, did you ever think back when you were taking those L's, quote unquote, when you were in the early stages of your DJ career, did you envision you being where you're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I always envisioned myself at that time. I mean, my inspirations, even to this day, are like Eric Deluxe and Vice at that time. Like that whole crew of DJs that were doing the Vegas stuff and the like celebrity parties, AM, RIP, like those are my inspirations, and I was lucky to like see them as inspirations and discover them because they set a standard for me of what I wanted to achieve, and and I followed those blueprints. I would take a little bit from here and a little bit from here, but add my flavor to it. And yeah, man, like if that wasn't there, like again, there's no telling where I would be, but everything is meant for you,
Yeah, that's dope. So how are you studying them when you like Vice and AM? And
everything
Deluxe.
from their mixes, from their social, like mainly what I was really studying was their social media stamp, like their footprint on social media, what they did, how they posted, how their graphics looked, how they moved around certain people, and all via social media. I was studying this. I knew that the music was gonna come after. Music keeps evolving. Like I'll figure out that music part after, but let me study the image that they have, and take from that and see what I want my image to be, and then build my image, build my brand, and build put my footprint down as well.
Do you think that you could be like a fire DJ and like really skilled turntablist without having that other side of?
Yeah, but it all depends though, like what you want out of this. Like you can be a fire turntablist, the most incredible one, but if your aspirations are to do like for example, if you want to do a Vegas club and headline a Vegas club, and you're like a bedroom turntablist DJ, you're gonna have to find a way to like be more appealing to what they want, and
That's
what they're
really
looking for.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like the Beat Junkies crew.
Yeah,
like they don't, they don't have aspirations to play in Vegas.
But now it's like at this point in time, it's evolving now because they're like Tao is booking Four Color Zach, another incredible DJ I look up to, and Zach is like a crazy turntablist, does the wordplay, and he's doing Tao sets. Like if you're a DJ, you should be able to do all that and then be like a real DJ. If you should be able to do the turntablist stuff, you should be able to rock a 4-hour party. You know, no matter what crowd is in front of you.
And so being versatile will get you very far.
For sure.
And that's why, like I said earlier, that's one of the reasons why I like you, because your sound is very versatile. You can take it to hip hop, you can take it to neo soul.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's why I really like your sets. Do you think that's like one of your strong suits?
Yeah. I mean, just being versatile is something I definitely pride myself on. A lot of my friends really are like, they always tell me like, yo, we can throw you anywhere and you're gonna find a way to get out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but I've been in many situations, yo. Like I've been booked for a fucking bar mitzvah and I had no bar mitzvah music and I found a way to still turn up the party. You
Damn.
know? So,
yeah.
And this is early on. This is probably like 2012 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But like, all those parties I've done, everything I've accumulated over the years, like it's taught me how to adapt to every crowd, every situation. And that's kind of what I pride myself on, is like, you can throw me anywhere and I know how to maneuver through the room. Okay.
I got a question. So we'll get into like how this happened, but I know that you're part of the Dreamville team, right? So with that collective being such a like open-minded sound,
yeah,
do you think that gives you the freedom to, I guess, like play what you want to play when you're doing a gig that's in relation to Dreamville?
That's what they taught me, really. Like coming into Dreamville, even before I started working with Boss and all of them, I was working with Hit Boy and Audio Push. And
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So for like 2012.
Legend.
So I was working with them. I was just kind of just every you know, whatever you need, I'm here type of person. Like I said, everybody, you know, I'm from the Valley, so they moved there, and like my dog Cass hit me like, yo, we moved to the Valley, like, you know, pull up. So I was kind of like the guy showing them around, driving them around, and you know.
At what age was this?
This is 20. I was 20.
Oh, 20, okay.
Yeah, it was like 19, 20.
Wow, okay.
But I've known Audio Push since I was like 16, 15, because they had to teach me how to jerk song, and that Club Arena would book them because the jerking era was like booming. So I was working with Hit, and like it was all hip-hop music and just like the big sounding, you know, at that time Watch the Throne was like, you know, booming. And Hit had produced Paris, so like everybody wanted to work with him because he was the hottest producer. He still is to this day. He's killing his shit this year. But my mind was like hip hop. But leading up to like coming to link with Dreamville and the Fiends and Boss, I always wanted to be A&R. And like sign artists or like help create records. So that's how I found Boss, on like a blog. I can't remember what blog, but just being around them and seeing how like cultured they are is like taught me to like get in touch with my culture a little more and like be able to express myself in different ways.
That's not just hip hop.
That's not just hip hop. Like, you know, like Boss listens to, I think hip hop is the last thing he listens to.
Really?
You know, yeah. He put me onto like the wildest songs, you know, that I had never heard, and to this day they're my favorite joints, you know. So like he taught me a lot on how to just be free and be more open-minded as far as like expressing myself and expressing my culture and my beliefs. Like, you know, like I've always been that type of person, but since I wasn't around people that had those same beliefs, it was like really hard to connect, you know what I mean? Like to be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I wasn't being myself around that time.
Because the people who are around you.
Exactly. Like you want to fit into their mold, and you know, and be like, they're your friends, they're your brothers, but like deep down, you know that's not you.
That's
know?
Yeah.
So when I come into a situation with people that are like this, like that have the same mindset as you, and you know, it clicks and it feels like you're home. Like, okay, like this is my tribe, like this is my crew, this is where I belong. And that's kind of why it's all works so well, because, you know, take the music shit aside, like those are my brothers.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what you felt too when you met Boz.
For sure. Like, you know, like the more I got to know him, the more all of them, the more I was like, okay, they're just like me. Like they play weird shit. Let me be. Like I would not like playing songs I like, you know, certain R&B joints, or like, you know, up until around like I got around my friends, like Boss and all of them, because I was like, oh shit, y'all like this? Like, yo, this shit's fire. I like this too. Yeah. You know?
Bonding over music is such like a special experience, like with people, like, and I feel exactly what you're saying, because at times, sometimes it's like, I remember there was like even like a girl that I was low-key kind of dating, and we didn't like the same type of music. And back in my head, I was just like, well, we could still try to make it work. I feel like it just doesn't work, and they're working out. You know what I mean? Like,
it gets a little tough, for sure.
That Spotify 2020 wrap up is really exposing some people.
I don't even want to look at mine, because it's probably gonna be a whole bunch of fucking Drake on that shit.
Oh, bro, fuck yeah! You a big Drake fan?
Man, what? Yeah, I feel like I just identify with his music a lot. I don't even know why.
Boy, I feel like that's like what he's best at, is making you like relate to his music in some way.
I mean, Jay-Z is the GOAT for me, but like Drake is definitely either, if not on the same level, like right under.
Right under?
Yeah, for me at least.
No, yeah, Drake is always the number one for my top artists of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, people, I'm seeing like, I love seeing people's 2020 wrap ups, because like we were saying earlier, it tells me a lot about people. Some of my friends, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that you would listen to the same artist as me. So like, it's making me kind of like, bro, this is
I fuck with you
I already fuck with you. And I'm like getting a little disappointed, and some other homies like, man, this is what you would listen to.
I seen somebody had like Janae Aiko as their top.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, you're in touch with your feelings a lot. All right, cool. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. What are some artists that you're feeling right now? What are some of the top artists?
Man, I was on the way over here. I was listening to this dude, Moray. Yeah, from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's so fire. Like I think he only got like 3 songs out, but I've had them shits.
How the hell did you find them?
Well, a friend, actually Ebe, I had heard about him before, but I didn't really pay attention to him, because like I think he wiped out his music to re-release it or something like that. But a month ago, Ebe, who's president of Dreamville, he was like, yo, you heard of this Moray kid? I was like, nah. And he like played me this song called Quicksand, and that's all I've been playing.
Fire?
Yeah, that shit's incredible. But yeah, Moray, shit. I mean, I listen to a lot of Spanish music too.
Oh, really? Like reggaeton? Or?
Yeah, like reggaeton, and let me see. Let me look at. I listen to a lot of Afrobeat too.
Oh, hell
like
yeah.
Wizkid. I love Wizkid. Burna Boy. What else I got? Bad Bunny on here.
You ever heard of I hope I'm not butchering it, Odunsi? He got this song, he got Waiting Day and Star Signs. Those are 2 fire tracks.
Nah, but I'm about to go peep it now.
Yeah, I feel like you'll like him.
Yeah, just send it to me after. That's fire.
Yeah, I got you.
I listen to Tame Impala. I like Tame Impala a lot. You know,
fire, yeah.
I just be listening to different shit, bro.
Man, the last night before lockdown, Tame Impala played at the Forum, and I went.
Oh, wow.
And that was the last like show that I got to go. But man, it was amazing.
The last thing I did before lockdown was, I think I went to Mexico, actually.
You went to Mexico?
For my friend's wedding. Yeah, and then I came back, and I thought I was going to get stuck out there, but they let me on a flight. It was all good. Came back, and then I think I DJ'd at Playhouse. That was my last gig.
I heard Playhouse got shut down, right?
Yeah, R.I.P., man. But fun times there, bro.
I'm sure.
You know, that was a venue that was a dream of mine to headline, you know. And then for the past 2 years, like, one of their go-to guys.
Like
so,
almost like a resident?
Yeah,
type?
actually, I had a residency with them for sure.
Wow.
It was like once a month, and if I was home, it was once a month. But if I was like on the road, I would just do it, once every other month or when I could.
Yeah, it's so sad seeing all these venues shut down all over the country, man.
But I'm keep it a buck. I'm not mad because like it just when it comes back, it's gonna add like a new vibe, a new fresh, like perspective and a new, fresh venues. It's just gonna be a whole new vibe.
That's a really good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It cleans out it hits the reset button. It cleans out everything that was wrong with certain places and
comes back better.
Yeah, it's a new culture. Like it comes back with a new culture. And as DJs, you come back and you set the tone for this new venue. Like you dictate how it's gonna be.
That's very true, man. I like where your mind's at. Like I could tell you're a very positive person. Like you don't like looking at the negatives. You like looking at the positives, right?
I mean, shit, we all have our days, but like mainly with all of this, like it's a reset, bro. Like everybody lived such a fast life before this, and it just kind of reset everything, and now we have time to like be in tune with ourselves, like what do we really want to do, and it gives time for us to work on passion projects, shit we always wanted to do, and like that. It just, I love this shit,
Yeah. Could you say that happened to you too? Because before COVID, I'm sure you were doing lots of gigs, you were traveling and everything. How did that relate to your life?
Man, well, shoot, it sat me down, like it sat me down. Like I finally like looked around and I was like, oh shit, the last 2-3 years were a blur. Like,
because you were moving so fast.
You were just doing shit here and there, but now it's like, you get to sit with your thoughts and it's like, all right, well, what do we want to do next year? Like, let's prepare for next year. Let's sit down and let's clear out whatever you don't want to do, like, projects you want to do. Like I put out a candle line during the pandemic. Like,
wow, candle line.
Yeah, like I've always loved candles, but like to have my own candle collection.
That's fucking dope.
Like, come on now.
That's really dope.
Like I would have never been able to do this shit if I was like moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are the candles available right now?
Yeah. You could just Nitrane merch. I don't want to. I forget the website, but if you go to my Instagram, the link is in the bio. At DJ Nitrane. But yeah, like I've always been a candle guy, so I got candles throughout the crib, and I just got tired of buying them all the time. Because my favorite candle is this candle called Santal from Le Labo.
Okay.
And that shit's like $80, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to keep it $80 for. But it's worth it. I'm not even gonna lie. It's worth it. It's worth it. But that's kind of what inspired me to be like, all right, well, let me create my own fucking collection and let me like experiment, right?
Yeah.
And I just always had that in my mind, and during the pandemic, like it came into fruition, and I put it out maybe like 2-3 months ago, and it's been booming. So. Thankfully, shout out to everybody who cop one. I gotta send you one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm all about, like I said, yeah, man. I'm all about the ambiance, bro. That's why we're called Ambiance.
Shout out to the ambiance, man.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm all about I'm really about like enlightening all the senses. Like we got 5 senses, right? We got the audio, the visual, the smell.
Yeah.
I don't know how we could incorporate taste, but like I want to think about doing that, like having like some type of event where you really focus on enlightening 5 senses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, like that's kind of why I did the candle thing too, because with the candle, if you buy a candle, I made a secret mix for everybody that got a candle. So when you get the candle, you get a postcard, right? And in that postcard, in the back of it, there's a QR code. That QR code takes you to the secret mix that nobody can listen to.
I love that.
Only if you have a candle.
Wow, that's really innovative.
The candle, like, you light up the candle, but the mix is specially curated for the vibe
of you lighting that candle.
Yeah, it's like you have me setting the vibes in your home.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is amazing.
So that's, you know, that's, if, like I said, like, I have time, you know, I can do shit like that, and with all this time. But, you know, that's why I'm thankful for this pandemic.
Okay,
sure.
I got you.
Yeah.
I have there's a DJ that came on, OG House Shoes. Shout out to House Shoes. Legendary Detroit hip hop DJ. He was like one of Jay Dilla's right hand men.
Yeah.
And
sounds familiar.
He talked about on the show when he came on. He came out with his own beer. He collabed with the brewing company, and he had the QR code on the beer for the same type of concept where like when you're drinking the beer, you play his music.
You play his shit. Yeah. See, that's, you know, everybody's aligned somehow, some way. Yeah. So that's fire. But with me, it was just like, you know, I love scents, and, you know, I want to do something special. Like, I don't want to just give you a candle. Like, let me give you an experience. That's what I'm always looking forward to.
Yeah, the experience is big.
Let me give you an experience. Like, even from the packaging, like the detail of the packaging, like, I literally was a part of every step of the way.
So would you say that that's big for your music too? Like when you have a gig or when you're DJing, to provide an experience for people, not just like playing music.
Yeah. I
taking them on a musical journey. For
sure. That kind of evolved into like the Nitrane name. Like, you know, like,
how did that name form?
Oh man, it's the most like. So I was walking to Costco, and there was like a train track. This is where I used to live when I was a kid. So there was a train track by this Costco in Northridge, and I was walking to the Costco. I think I was probably gonna go get pizza or something, and like I needed. Like, I was doing high school house parties, so I needed a new name because my first name was like trash. It was like DJ Scissor Spins, you know. Like, it was the most childish name that I could probably have. And I was just walking and typing down names in my phone, and like I was like train, night train, like it was like nighttime kinda. I was like night train, and I just spelled it differently, and like that's all I had. And then I just gave up, right? And then later on that day, or like the next day, the dude that was throwing the party, he's like, yo, what name do we put on the flyer? Are you still DJing? I was like, yeah, just put DJ Night Train on it. And
wow.
From that point on, I was like doing house parties 2 times a week, like every week, you know, while I'm still at high school. So every Friday and Saturday I'm doing a party, and it's Night Train on the flyer. And then I changed it on my MySpace name, and then it just like became a whole thing, and then it all evolved, and to this day I can't, you know, escape it.
Yeah, it kind of just stuck with you. It's funny how you didn't really like, not much thought came into that.
But like I said, it's destiny, bro. Like, it's destiny. And I at first I didn't like it, but then I was like, man, let me build a brand, you know, like let me make sure like when people hear Night Train, it's a good thing, or like, you know, like let me dictate how people hear Night Train.
Okay, so, yeah, because that's what it's all about, right? How you brand it. That's what I had a similar experience for how I came up with Ambiance, the name of this branding podcast. Because I had the idea for what I wanted to do, right? I just didn't have the name, similar to you. So I remember when I was trying to brainstorm ideas, I heard somebody just drop Ambiance like in our conversation. I was like, that's fire. Like, let me like sit on this for a little bit.
It's a vibe, bro. It's a vibe.
I looked up the definition of ambiance, and it's described as the character and feeling of an environment or place.
Right.
I was just like, man, like how can I incorporate this into like what I want to do? I really want to push positivity and growth. Yeah. So that's what the plus sign is for, right? So that's like how it kind of ties in this. That's the logo, the plus sign, and then ambiance, positive environment, positive energy. Yeah. Like,
it all aligns, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, destiny.
It's destiny. It all aligns. You're gonna be, you know, like this is really only the beginning of like what you can reach.
Yeah, yes, sir, bro. Like, I really appreciate that. That's why I appreciate you coming on, because you're a part of this journey now too. You know what I mean? Like, this moment we're having right now is always gonna be special. I'm always gonna be grateful for it. So
I appreciate you having me, bro. Like I said, I don't really like read my DMs, but like for some reason I was like, oh, let me go see what's in there, and you had hit me. I was like, oh yeah, why not? I'm always down for just being a part of shit that promotes positivity, and I knew it wasn't gonna be nothing that would because I'm very calculated with what I do. Like, I don't really do podcasts unless I really want to like be a part of it or like help the homies out. So
wow.
But I'm very grateful to be here for sure.
That's an honor, man.
Yeah.
And I think that it goes back to the destiny thing too, because maybe you wouldn't have saw that DM if we were in this pandemic.
right, exactly. Like, it's really just full of SoundCloud links in there. So, that's why. Unless I want to take time and like go listen to some shit that I've, that they sent me, then cool. But, yeah, I'm probably never in there.
Yeah. So I know that you're taking this whole thing that's going on as like a positive, but do you miss spinning? Do you miss touring,
for sure.
traveling?
I mean, it's kind of, at first I missed it a lot, but then now it's all virtual. So I have my own Twitch channel.
Oh, what's your Twitch?
Yeah, twitch.tv/DJ Nitrane.
Okay.
Yeah. So even right now after this, I got to go do a stream that I like.
Fire.
I do a lot of pop-up streams, but today, as this comes out, it's Jay-Z's birthday, so I'm gonna do like a special Jay-Z set for everybody. Yeah. So, I built a community on Twitch, so now it's like all the people that didn't come out to the club and I couldn't reach are now on Twitch from the comforts of their own home. So it's a whole different world that I've unlocked in there, where like I really enjoy playing music for them. I could be there for 5-6 hours playing, and like if it feels that's what keeps me sane, and it satisfies me, because before, like when I was doing clubs, I'd come in, do an hour and a half, and then go home.
Yeah.
Here I'm like engaging with the people. Like,
there's comments,
there's a chat, I'm having conversation, but before, like, I didn't really fuck with the live streaming like when it was on Instagram, because I don't know, it's just tacky to me, like there was no like, I get it, all the DJs were pivoting and trying to find ways, but like it just wasn't, for me, it just wasn't appealing, like it wasn't appealing. Like, I need to do something, like I gotta have some type of production value to it, or it has to have some type of like scheme to it, or like a plan. So like I attempted the IG live DJing, but what I did was I created a whole different page for it from scratch. I called it Club Train, and and I would go live from just Club Train, and it was like a if you know type of shit. So and I only did it for maybe like 2 weeks, and like I probably did like 3 sets there. Then people started getting shut down, and then I saw Twitch, and I saw people getting on Twitch, and I was like, yeah, my friend Josh, who's shout out to Josh. I would also not be here without Josh. He it's my right hand man. He was like, yo, like, try it out, and he like told me what to get. Like, I got a green screen, I got a lot of the equipment I already had, like the iMac, and I got a webcam, like one of them Fire Logitech webcams, and I got a Stream Deck now, so like I can stream by myself and switch the layouts. But before, Josh was like taking care of that, but I just wanted to have some production value. So like with the green screen, I could add my own, like all the tour visuals that I was gonna use for 2020, like for shows that I had on my own, that I never got to use, are now like visually on my Twitch.
Oh, so you already had those locked and loaded.
So yeah, I had them locked and loaded, ready to go. So like I had a production value for my stream. And that's like that was big for me. It's like I want to, like, it goes back to like I want to give you guys an experience. So now I'm providing experiences there for people to their homes, and that's the best part. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, and it's so much more like user friendly from audience standpoint.
And I control it. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
Like I control everything about it. It's like if I want to go on right now, I can go on right now. If I want to not go on, like even before, like when I first started, I would go on like, you know, once here and then maybe like 2 weeks later, and then it just became a thing where I just became like the pop-up DJ. You know, my friend Bad was like, you're king of the pop-ups, like you know, you just pop up and stream and people are gonna show up.
Just
like,
pull up.
Yeah, and thankfully people just show up and still support me, and I love that shit, you know. Like they just pop up. So now lately, you know, we got more time on my hands. I'm done with like my projects that I really wanted to do. Well, kind of done, and now I'm focusing more on Twitch. So it's like and building that community on Twitch. I've met a lot of people. Honestly, without Twitch, I wouldn't be able to do that candle collection.
Very true.
Because on Twitch is where I met the person that helps me with the candles.
How did that happen?
So I was in my friend. I want to say it was DJ Bad's page. Shout out to Bad. He was streaming, and then I met. Through a mutual friend, our homie Matthias, his wife has her own candle collection. So shout out Safiro. And she sent me some candles, and I was like, oh, these are fire. Like, because she saw me lighting up that fucking $80 candle in my stream.
And she already knew about it?
I was talking about it. I was like, yo, this is my like favorite candle. I was telling everybody about the candle. And she's like, yo, I got my own candle. Like, I want to send you some. She sent me some. I loved them. And then one day I was like, man, like, let me just reach out and see if we could do a collab. And actually, at first I reached out because I wanted to send them out to my friends during the pandemic. Like, I wanted to buy like 50 candles, right? And then just send them out to like close friends and like even people that like had booked me before. Just kind of like yo, I know we're going through a hard time, but like, you know, here's a candle. Like, you know, I'm still thinking of y'all. I hope y'all are good. Like, that was my intention.
Man, that's dope.
And then she was like, so I reached out, and she's like, yeah, we could do that. She's like, but why don't we just do a whole collection? And I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. But I just didn't want to like overstep, you know? Yeah. And then I was like, but if we do this, like, I want to be a part of the whole process. And she's like, nah, like, and then she, like, I went over to their spot, and we talked about it, and she had all these scents, and I just smelled all these scents, and I narrowed, it was like, I forgot how many, but like I narrowed it down to like 20 or 30 or something like that. Wow. And then from that 20 or 30, I narrowed it down to like 10, and then
that's gotta be hard to
what? But yeah, it was like time consuming, but like it was not time consuming, but tedious, like, because I knew what I wanted. Like, there was a certain like level of production value that I wanted with it, like, you know. And then she showed me the jars and the lids that like I could do the different combinations, and I was like, all right, perfect. Like, I want to go with this, I want to go with that, and then I want to go with these scents, and then and then like she like mixed up some certain scents that like now became Train's favorite. So like we got down to like scientifical with it, and she like mixed certain different scents to create this one scent that is like my favorite.
One of one type of scent.
Yeah, one of one type of scent. Like, nobody has this scent but me.
Oh, that's so dope to have your own scent.
Yeah, crazy. Like, so yeah, that's the Train's favorite candle. It's my scent, but like I'm saying, like, Twitch would have never allowed, like, if I didn't have Twitch, it would have never allowed me to do that project, for sure.
Got you. Do you think you'll still be on the Twitch wave post?
Yeah, because we built like I'm telling you, it's a community, and these are people that don't go out to the club. These are people that have everyday lives, you know, and if I can spare 3-4 hours of my day to just like provide them with a good time, I'm all for it. You know? Because like I don't think I'm ever gonna stray away from it. Like, even I took a trip recently last month, and for like a gig, and I was like streaming from my room because I wanted to give them a good time. Like, I didn't want them to forget. Like, yo, I'm still here for y'all. You know, like, so I brought my streaming gear, and then I had them like put like DJ equipment in my room so I could DJ and stream for them. Like,
that's tight.
Yeah, so like I was just, like I don't take them for granted, bro. Like those are literally people that keep us sane and get us through like our worst days, our best days. Like we share those emotions with them through music.
Yeah, that's a good point, because not everybody likes going to clubs, or not everybody likes going out, but they may still want to enjoy your music. I didn't really think about that before, and Twitch does like fill that pain.
It fills that void. Yeah, it fills that whole void, bro. Like, like I can go do a party fucking with the bottle poppers and all of that, but I can also come home and broadcast to the people in their couch that are gonna put me on their TV, you know what I mean? And just gonna sit back. They're gonna go cook, or they're gonna go like just chill, have a drink, and I'm just providing the vibes for them.
100%, man. I can't tell you how many sets that I've watched from my living room during quarantine, man. Like,
yeah, bro.
On the TV, and it's a vibe and it's an experience. Maybe have a friend or two over, enjoy like a beer, and cook. You said.
And the vibe, especially with this nice ass vibe.
It gets live, bro. Shout out to my roommate and production partner Nick, because like we were saying, he's a photographer, and he has all this equipment. Some of it I use. I want to be able to do a lot of what I do without Nick, so shout out to Nick. And man, he sets the vibe, man. Like, he has these quasar tubes that we set up, and turn this whole room into like just like,
bro, this is a production, bro.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So
this is a production.
Sometimes you can't do it alone, man. Like, there are plenty of people that helped you, like you said. So like, it's same goes for me. Like, and I think I want to touch on this too. Like, you can't be afraid sometimes to ask for help, because that's something that I had to learn early on. Is like, I thought I always wanted to do things on my own, and man, closed mouths don't get fed.
Story of my life, bro. I'm just honestly, like, this shit all looks great and all, but like, I'm just starting out to break out of my shell, in a sense of like you said, closed mouths don't get fed. Like, before I would walk into a room, I've always been the quiet dude. I've always just been like, all right, let me just get to this wall, and nobody, like, I don't want to impose or like bring attention to myself, And now with this pandemic, I'm like, I've gotten so far being the guy, just the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like let me challenge myself to, be the light in the room, be the energy in the room, and let's see how far that takes us,
Yeah.
And like you said, closed mouths don't get fed. Like, even now, I'm starting to like know my worth in certain areas, and now I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do this, and I'm okay with like not doing it. And or I want to do this. How do I reach out? How do I get to this person? Like, let me reach out, or like, let me find somebody, like a mutual friend that knows them, and like, let me ask for, or let me not ask, but like, let me make myself known that I'm interested in certain
Put
areas.
yourself out there.
Yeah, put myself out there more. Yeah. So that's definitely something that like I've been overcoming through the pandemic, because yeah, bro, we have so much time to ourselves. It's like we have the chance to mold ourselves for the future. Like, this is what it is. Like, we're molding ourselves. How are we gonna come out of this? Is how we're gonna be for the future.
Yeah, very well said. And we really have time to like sit with our thoughts, you know what I mean? Because when we're moving at such a fast pace, you don't really have time to think about some of the things that happened to you in the past few years. So when you're sitting down, you start like feeling that, like, those emotions, you know what I mean?
Bro, roller coaster. Like, we ain't even gonna go that deep, but it's a roller fucking coaster. Like,
exactly.
You start fucking, you feel the most, you think the most, and you fucking, ride the most incredible / lowest emotions, because you, like I said, like, these are times where you don't know how anything is going. Nobody knows. Nobody has a fucking answer to like what life is gonna be like after.
Yeah.
So it's like all we can do is work on ourselves and, you know, mold ourselves to be what we want to be when we come out of this shit.
Yeah, and like you said, this whole time of the virus has like allowed us to do that, and it's important to feel those emotions because you're gonna have to feel them someday. Yeah. It's inevitable.
Yeah,
so,
if you don't feel them now, like that shit's gonna hit you sooner or later, bro.
And it's gonna haunt you too.
What?
Yeah, and also this has been a time to reflect on things that you've been through as well, or highlights, and to really like, and to think about, like, for you, I'm sure, like, damn, I really, whatever transpired in the last 3 years as far as the moves that you made, this time is allowing you to sit down and just enjoy the fact that you did them, right?
Exactly. You enjoy it, or, you know, you say, all right, cool, we did that. Like, what else is next? Like, what else do we do? Like, where do we take this shit? Like, how much farther can we go? And you know, and it's all about the mindset, really, that you have. Is
it hard for you to? I'm really interested in getting your perspective on this. Is it hard for you to get? I don't want to say happiness, but like, remember how you were talking about earlier in your career, you get $50 and you were hyped. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now that you've had like all these amazing experiences with DJing, is it hard to get that quote unquote high of? Nah,
because my high, as far as DJing goes, my high has always come from the crowd, like their reactions, and you can't put a price on that. Like, if I'm doing a good job and they're having a good time, that's fine. Like, that's where my happiness lives. My happiness doesn't really live on the check that I get.
Okay.
Because that's the best way to fucking, you know, like, you're only as good as your last gig, you know, at the end of the day. So my happiness comes from playing the music, and that's why I got into this. Like, I didn't get into this because I wanted to make fucking X amount of money and live in a fucking big ass house. Like, I got into it from the moment I pressed that button and I saw the power I had when at that family party when people just got up and started dancing. Like, that's like, I carry that same emotion is what I chase after. Okay. Every time I play music. Like, every time I have my own set, that emotion that I felt that day as a kid is what I chase after in every single set, and that's my goal all the time.
Wow. Yeah. So regardless if it's like close family or friends or a bunch of strangers,
I could be DJing for fucking Obama, and I could be DJing for, you know, 100 people here at the reserve. Yeah. And I'm gonna treat it the exact same way. Because I adapt, and I just like seeing people's faces when they hear the song that they like. You
must be excited to like play in person again and see actually the crowd. Yeah. Like,
I played in person recently for Halloween.
Okay.
I did a party for Party Next Door.
Oh shit!
Like his Halloween party. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a lot of people in there. But being able to fucking do that and see people again and see how they react. Like, I was definitely rusty as fuck because all I've been doing is DJing on Twitch. So it's like, I'm home, I'm in front of a camera, and the people are like, I don't have anybody in front of me.
Yeah.
This time I had people in front of me, and like, their reactions, if I didn't like the reaction that they had to a certain song, I would panic.
It affects you, yeah.
And I would be like, oh fuck, like, let me change this song. I wasn't trusting myself up until like later into the party. That's when I started trusting myself. Like, I was like, okay, like, I'm good. The party started at like 9, and by like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I was like, all right, cool, I'm good. Everybody's still here. Like, you know, we're having a good time, so we're good. But yeah, I was definitely rusty, but it showed me how much I did miss it and how different it is now, because I was still chasing after that feeling, but I was a little more panicked this time.
Really?
Yeah, because I, like, you know, when like I didn't want people to be like, oh damn, Nitrane's trash, like coming out of this pandemic. Like, all right,
yeah.
Like, I don't want that to be the last thing they remember.
I got you. Especially since there's not too many of those opportunities.
Not too many of those opportunities. That was like one opportunity. Like, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna show y'all that I'm still okay. I'm still good. Like, I'm still one of the fucking greatest. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so like I overthought a lot, but whatever, we got through it. Party ended at like 5 a.m. and I took my ass home and I went to sleep. Actually, yeah, I took my ass home.
You didn't go nowhere else?
No. I thought I had to like.
You didn't get no wasada fries?
Nah, it open. Like,
that's true.
Shit open.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah,
that's facts.
but yeah, man, I do miss it, but it'll be back. I know it'll be back.
Yeah, and you'll be ready for it.
Cool, man. Now that I got that one gig out the way, I know what to expect now. Like, okay. I know where people's minds are at when they go to a party. Like I'm good.
There's gonna be so much music to play because all the music that's dropped. Like, obviously you play it on Twitch, but like there's a difference between hearing like this Drake's Dark demo, like some of those songs, I'm like, man, I wish I could hear that like at a club, or I wish I could hear it like when I'm driving.
You know how loud I wanted to scream, I'm outside in the AMG in a fucking club, yo.
Yeah, let's go.
I wanted to yell that with fucking tears in my eyes, man.
I just wanted to get off to some Pain 1993, bro.
Exactly. What? That whole shit. But now he got some shit. He got some shit coming out.
Do you know how insane like Laugh Now, Cry Later, how many more numbers that would have done if it wasn't a pandemic?
That probably would have beat. No, I don't think it would have beat God's Plan, but it would have been close.
Yeah,
it would have been close.
Exactly.
But nah, man, a lot of these songs definitely would have been a lot bigger than they are, but nothing's sticking, man. I mean, streaming is down during a pandemic. Nobody's really like streaming music or listening to music, like, or going, like, usually if you get in a car, you put on your Spotify.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're home, like, you don't really put on your Spotify or Tidal or Apple Music. Like, no one's really streaming music these days, and it's causing artists to just drop and flood with music, you know, because they want to like make up for the streaming being down, so they just, you know, drop shit.
Oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's why, because a lot of artists are putting out a lot of music right now.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, the only one really killing it is Bad Bunny. His streams are stupid.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
But yeah, I've played fucking, what's his song, Tahiti, at least 100 times. That shit's so fire.
Hell yeah. Shout out Bad Bunny, man. What was I gonna get into next? I was gonna ask you about like, where has music taken you, as far as like travel wise? Like, where are some of the places you've been because of music?
Wow, everywhere. Everywhere I've ever been is because of music. Travel. One of the craziest places that I never thought that I would ever in life. Like, it just, I didn't even think about this. Was South Africa. And Kenya, like, just the whole African continent, really. I only went to Kenya, Nairobi, Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, South Africa. But like, just South Africa and Kenya in general, like, man, what I would have never thought. And shout out to Boss, man, for being such a, you know, for being so in tune with his culture and really like saying, nah, we got to tour South Africa. Like, we want to bring our show to South Africa.
You know, I've heard about that from a few different people. One is Andres from Selection. He was talking about how Cape Town, like, their crowd when they do shows out there is insane.
Crazy, bro.
John Mark, shout out to John Mark, photographer for Masego. They love Masego out there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know?
What? Masego. Shout out to my dog Masego, too, man.
Shout out to Masego.
Like, there's a whole world out there, and I love it, bro. Like, everything from the music, like, all my favorite songs, my favorite Afrobeat songs, I was out there at the time that they were booming.
Ooh,
so like, we were in the club, we weren't trying to party. Like, we just want to hear these songs really loud. And then I ended up DJing a couple spots, and fucking, like, it was the most incredible shit. Like, that's been one of my favorite times in my life. Like, just being able to play my favorite songs in their own home, like, turf, and like having them go crazy. I was like, oh shit, this is what it's all about. But yeah, South Africa, Australia, recently fucking Tahiti, which I'd never even thought about.
Tahiti?
I never even thought about going. Of course, London, one of my favorite cities of all time. Toronto, one of my favorite cities. Like, Toronto's like my second home. I love Toronto. Shout out to everybody in Toronto, yeah. Yeah, bro, different places. New Zealand. But, you know, it's all by way of Bass, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, Bass is the one. Like, I'm his tour DJ, so, like, we've done so many shows all over the world, and he loves to travel. Like, you know, he loves to travel, and we know we reap the benefits, you know, because of him. So, you know, nothing travel-wise. Like, all my connections, too, around the world, like, if I want to go play at a club in a different city, is like, I was there because Boss was, you know, we were on tour, and I met, like...
Oh, like, if you do a show out there without Boss, then it's...
I can do, well, like, I built my network up because first we would tour, you know, and then we, you know, first we toured with Boss 2016, and 2017 toured with Cole, and we were on that tour, and I was like building, like, the clubs, like, everybody looks to me for the club, like, yo, what's the move after the show? So I was all, like, before even the tours were announced and I knew the dates and, like, the cities we were going to, I would already, like, do my research on what club in this city is the best one, like, what's the hottest, who do I gotta talk to, and I was doing that research and reaching out, like, yo, we're coming into the city, like, I'm giving you, like, a chance to host an after party for us. This is what we need. You know, you let us know what you can do. And, you know, sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, and, you know, boom, like, it would just kind of snowball into that, and I would build my relationships with different promoters in different cities, and, you know, keep in touch with them, and then if, like, say I got like a off weekend and I want to go to Toronto, like, I would hit my guy Drew, who manages all my, like, Toronto stuff. I would be like, yo, Drew, I got this weekend off, like, let's set something up. He'd be like, all right, cool. And,
it's that easy.
You know, but that's because I took the time to, like, really build out those relationships.
Okay, because you mentioned before how you're really, like, calculated thinker. So it's not just like, I'm sure a lot of other DJs, they might be like, they go out to do the tour and they don't think about these type of things that you're thinking about. You know what I mean?
They don't. They're just like, all right, I'm going on tour, and, you know, the day of, like, when you're really on tour, you don't really have time to, like, do anything besides the show and prep for the show. So, like, I was doing the early prep work because I knew where we were going. I knew when we were going to be there, and you know, a lot of other DJs are just going to get to the city and it's like, all right, what do we do now? Like, where do we go? And you have no type of, like, connection.
Just being proactive.
And then, so I was just like, all right, let me just, you know, Google some shit. Like, let me go on Instagram. Like, let me, like, I would go on Instagram and I would go, like, say a club in fucking, I don't know, Dallas. Let's say a club in Dallas.
Okay.
I would go to the club's page, and then I would go to like their tagged photos and see who was tagging the club, and then I would go to, like, see other, like, these people's pages. I'd come across, like, promoters, like, they're throwing this party, or, like, DJs. Like, I would see who was who, and I would kind of gauge who had the most, like, influence and who I could really, like, get some shit done with, and that's how, like, I would just reach out, like, yo, we come in, like, this is who we are, what we do. We're looking for an after party. What can we do?
Do you think that, like, the way your mind works, like, with how you just explained how you take these different avenues to find, like, a dope club or a dope spot, do you think that relates to like how you dig for music? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that same type of mindset.
I mean, I'm gonna be the first to say it. I'm a fucking calculated psycho for sure.
Some OCD or some shit.
Yeah, like I got even OCD. Just like I'm just gonna dig and dig and dig and dig until I find, you know, some shit I like. Like I've been in fucking SoundCloud pages with 8 play. Like I found a song with 8 plays, and that shit is so fire. And I play it, and I go back, and that shit got like, you know, 100. You know?
Okay. You know? Yeah.
So it's like, like I dig. Like it's like I told you earlier, it's like a badge of honor finding something.
Yeah.
You know? And that's just how I am. Like with everything else, like I want to be the, like being able to be the guy that like provides a great time for your friends and whoever you're around, and even the people that are in that city or in that club, like the locals, like all that shit is a badge of honor too. Like, you know, you wear that with pride. Like I came into a city, I didn't know nobody, I reached out, and look what I created. Now I can come back anytime and, you know, continue to build with the city, really, everybody in the city. So that's kind of just like how I view everything. Like it's just a badge, and I pride myself on that for sure.
Yeah, I could tell. And
just
is it
creating something out of nothing?
Got you. Yeah, and it's genuine too, because like it's these connections that you're making are aligning with other connections that you already have.
Yeah, like it even goes back to taking the L's, like to that time, like I just want to build, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to build the relationship. Like, I care more about the relationship than the financial aspect of it most of the time, because even with, like, after parties, I would just be like, all right, cool, I just want you to take care of the artist, and I'll do the set. Like, I just, you know, this is going to be the flat fee for me and the artist. And I would give the artist all the money, and I would just come DJ and just, you know, do. I didn't take anything from it, because what I was taking from it was bigger than the amount of money that we were getting that night.
Was the relationship that you were making?
I was getting a relationship where I could come back and charge double, or like charge my own fee, and you know, and continue to build that relationship. And I always continue to like be booked there 1 or 2 times. So like if we're charging $7,000, I'm gonna I'm just gonna DJ for free this time. But if I lock in a residency with them, like monthly or bi-monthly, like I'm multiplying what we could have got, like what we got that night. You know what I mean?
You, yeah.
Like I'm thinking long term more than anything.
And you're betting on yourself too.
For sure.
That you're gonna have like a dope performance and everything.
Yeah, that's also another thing, because you can't just come to a city and expect to know their hits, you know, and like expect to know what's hot at in that town. Like I'm just betting on myself and like adapting to where I'm at, and we're gonna go from there.
Man, thank you for explaining this, because I don't think a lot of people know that these are some of the type of things that you need to think about to really progress as a DJ or in any other creative space, or even if you're not even a creative, like
just in general, really.
Like even if you have a job, like rubbing shoulders with like the CEO, or like maybe you pass by them and you strike up a conversation, like all that is important.
What I like I said, I pay attention to details. Like fucking, you know, if a promoter has a dog that they love so much, like I'm like, yo, I'll send you like some dog collars or some dog treats for your dog. Like, you know, like I just find ways to connect. And I don't do it like maliciously, like it's all genuine. Like I actually care, you know. Like I don't care I'm not doing it because I'm gonna need something later. Like I'm not even gonna ask for anything. I'm just doing it because out of the kindness of my heart, you know. And maybe they'll need me before I ever need them, and I'm gonna continue to do it, you know.
I love that, like having good intentions with it too. Then
yeah.
Okay. Do you ever, when you're on tour and you get back, do you ever get post-tour depression?
Oh my God, it was a PTD for sure. Post-tour depression. I get PTD, PPD, which is post-party depression. Bro, what?
All the types of posts.
All types of fucking, all of them shits, bro. Like, But you gotta think about it. Like even with I remember this, the last two tours, the Milky Way tour and the Coal tour. I remember the Coal tour 2017, 4 Eyes Only. Our last show was in Dallas, and we finished the mind you, we've been touring for like 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So, our last show was in Dallas. Our show's practically finished around like 11, but like, you know, all the after stuff. So I would say we're out the building at like 1 a.m. ish, 1:30 or whatever. Bro, my flight was at 5 a.m. to come home. Like, I had 4 hours, like, to get all my shit and then get on that flight and come back to LA. To my tour was over, bro. Tour was over. So I had 4 hours to like really gather this whole experience I just went on for 2 months. And now, like, in a few hours, I'm about to be home. Like literally, it's like from night to day, I'm gonna be home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be home at 8 a.m. It's only a 3-hour flight.
It's like you're leaving a different world.
I'm from night to day, I'm going into a whole different world. And it's like, you know, we have schedules every day and a routine. And for me to just hop on a flight right after, like, we just had a show a few hours ago and be in my bed in a span of like 6 hours, it's like, you know, fucking, it's crazy. It's so, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just night to day, black and white. Like,
yeah,
you know, you're in your bed and you're just looking around. It's like, oh shit. Like,
it must have felt just like a big, like almost dream.
Yeah,
right?
for the first week when I'm home, like, I get anxiety because I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to sound check.
Oh, you're waking up like,
I'm like, oh shit, did I miss my bus call?
Oh,
like, did I, you know, what does boss need? You know,
yeah.
like it just, you know, it's just hard to explain. You get anxiety, but you're home with nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
then that's where you got to regroup, and it's like, all right, I can take gigs now. I can go back to my home life.
Right.
And it's just, you know, it's different.
But I'm sure there's like an acclimation period from when like you need to start like.
It takes like a couple weeks, you know, a couple weeks. That's why, like, when I get off tour, like, I don't see anybody but my family and my friends. And,
Okay.
and then that's it. I mean, when it comes to work, like, I'll deal with that shit 2 hours later. 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because, you know, you come from, you know, a different world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I that question came from one of my boys, Brian Chong from Toronto. Actually, he's
Six Side.
He's a dope photographer out of Toronto, and
Nice.
Yeah, he told me that, like he told me how he gets tour depression. He goes on tour like Murder Beats and shit.
Oh,
and,
fire! I
and,
seen Murders recently.
Really?
Party shit. Yeah,
Oh, dope.
yeah.
And he talked about like how like he gets tour depression. He's like, you should ask other people that, because I'm sure anybody that goes on tour gets that.
Man, that shit it's real. It's a real thing. Like, that shit, you get to a point where you're like, damn, I don't have, like, what do I, like, a lot of people that tour, like, that's their only sole income. Everything from the lighting guy to, like, the engineers. It's like, when you don't have, like, you do one tour. Luckily, most of them build their own networks where they just hop on one tour to another. But when you're exclusive to one artist, and they don't have, like, another album cycle, like, they're just taking time off, it's like, what do you do? You know?
That's
like,
true.
What do you do? Like, you depressed because, like, you put all your eggs in one basket for this one artist, and they're not doing anything, and then you're banking on them to do something so you can get paid or so you can do something. Like, you know, that's why it's very important, especially for tour DJs. Like, it's very important to build your own brand aside from them, because at the end of the day, the bigger you become on your own, it's more beneficial to the artist you're with.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
so I try to preach that all the time. It's like, don't wait around for your artist to, like, come back on an album cycle, because it's like, what happens if your artist retires, you know, or God forbid something happens, like Pop Smoke, R.I.P. Like, like, what do you do? Like you have no more shows. Like you put all your eggs in that one basket, and you never use that leverage to build your own brand.
Or situations that we're in right now, even
situations that we're in right now. It's like, thankfully, like, I build enough of a brand to get me through it, in a sense of like I can still create, I can still I still have people that like will support me if I keep putting stuff out, thankfully. Yeah. But a lot of people, if you're trying to build a brand from scratch right now, like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Unless, because people are just accustomed to what they want and what they like, and if you've built a rapport with these people, they're gonna support you through the pandemic and through what we're in, but if you're trying to build it from scratch and nobody knows you, like, and you can't go out and do the face-to-face, person-to-person reaction, then interaction, it's just not gonna work, because they don't know what you're about, they don't know what kind of person you are, they don't know like much about you. So if you're just posting up something all day and asking people to listen to it and they don't know you, it's like, I don't know you, why am I going to listen to it?
Yeah, exactly. That's very well said, man. Yeah. Because I take that same type of strategy with these podcasts as well. You know what I mean? People come for the guests, right? Like, somebody who listens to this right now may be a fan of you, DJ Nitrane, right? And then if they like this episode, they like me,
exactly.
They might check out the show, man.
Come right back, exactly. Yeah. So, if y'all like it, man, please come back to the Ambiance podcast.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to end this pretty soon, but do you have anything going on that you want to plug in the near future?
I'm actually... I'm going to do a virtual tour.
Oh, a virtual tour?
Yeah, in the next couple weeks. I actually haven't even told anybody about this.
Oh, shit. Breaking news.
I'm sure by the time it comes out, like, I'll probably say something about it. But I'm going to do a virtual tour because at first I started the brand World Tour Train before the pandemic started with, like, merch. And then literally the week after, like, shit stopped.
Oh.
Everything got canceled. So the World Tour Train was going to be like, we had a lot of stuff in the books, a lot of traveling. So I was going to do a world tour, like a world club tour. So I would do like sets in Europe and different clubs, and I would do like sets in like Toronto in the States, just different countries.
And right? were these clubs that you were going to DJ at, were they connections like you talked about earlier that you made like that? Okay.
1,000%. They were all connections. So I was going to build a club tour around just like, like I was going to route it that way. So I was going to build a club tour, and that's where World Tour Train, and I was going to bring merch to each, city, and I was working on trying to do like a little pop-up too, because there's a lot of people that do like follow me and do support from different countries. So I wanted to give them a chance to like actually like meet me and get to know me. Because when I'm in a club, it's like, all right, I'm just here to play music and give y'all a good time. I don't really get to interact with you guys in person. So I was gonna do like a baby pop-up shops here and there with the merch. So everything shut down. Excuse me. The World Tour Train. The World Tour Train brand was building, but everything was just done. So the merch was cool, it was flying, but then like it's like we were home, we weren't doing anything. So I was like, man, what can we do? And I switched it. I hit my guy Boogie, who designs a lot of my stuff, and I was like, yo, can you cross out the world and just put home and just we're gonna rebrand this as Home Tour Train. And we're just gonna call it Home Tour Train for this run, for this like little phase. And I relaunched like a whole line of Home Tour Train merch. And then Home Tour Train was also part of the candle collection, like a home item, It was a home item for your home. So
smart.
It wasn't about like just DJing. It was just more about like a product that people can have in their homes, and like my name would be attached to it. So but I always wanted, since I can't tour physically, I'm gonna do a virtual tour via my Twitch, where it's gonna be each set. I'm going to do it over a span of 1 week. I want to say it's going to be like 5 to 6 shows. and each show is gonna have its own city, like designated city. So I'm gonna be live from like say London, and that whole theme, that whole set is gonna be London, UK based, like UK music, UK
like drill music.
Drill shit, garage.
Fire.
Yeah, so it's like every set every day is gonna be different, and then I'm trying to get certain DJs from their respective countries to be a part of the stream as well.
I love that idea, man.
Yeah,
Business savvy Nitrane, bro.
So just trying different shit, bro, while we're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So the Home Tour Train virtual tour will probably be up either next week or like I'm just gonna drop it. Fuck it.
You're gonna drop it?
I'm just gonna drop it. It's gonna be free, of course, because you can enjoy it from the comforts of your own home. But if you want like a special experience, there's like a BTS that I'm trying to do that you'll be able to access through a certain area, like a certain code you get, and you'll have access to like what's going on behind the tour. You can party with me. Like while the set is going on, but like it's gonna be just literally me interacting with the people that are in this room.
Wow.
In this like virtual room.
That's crazy. That's really innovative.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to for sure peep it. I'm gonna be in one of those rooms, man. For sure, bro. Where can people find you on social if they want to follow your journey?
Man, just Instagram at DJ Nitrane, Nitrane, Twitter at _ DJ Nitrane. I can't get the DJ Nitrane. The dude beat me.
Give my man his username.
My tag, bro. Give my tag. I remember years ago he asked me for like $10,000 to give me. I was like, yeah, it's not happening. I don't even have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just add DJ Nitrane on Instagram. You can find everything, and more music on the way. I'm working on an album too, which sometime it'll come out. Who knows? But I'm just taking my time with it.
Okay, a lot to look forward to. Especially you're still early on in your career. I think you know what I mean. You have a long way to go. So yeah, I'm excited to watch your journey and to see where the new heights are gonna take you.
Thank you for having me too, man.
Yes, sir.
I like talking for sure, as you can see, but to be able to do it on a platform that focuses more on the actual work side of it is dope. So thank you, man. Keep going, and I can't wait to see where this is at in a year.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Sir. Thank you for being a part of this special moment.
Thank you,
First
brother.
podcast in the new Ambiance studios.
It's fire.
Yeah, let's go. From that, we're gonna check out from Ambiance, Levi, DJ Nitrane.
Yes, sir.
We out. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.